I don't think this is 100% nostalgia speaking, maybe more like 75% nostalgia, but this game just feels right. Playing this with an authentic SNES pad and displaying on our CRT just feels proper and magical. But with this being the first time I've actually sat down and front to back beaten Donkey Kong Country, I understand why some people do not like this game. Let us be positive first. I still think the presentation of DKC is outstanding. The digitized 3D models, even with their fuzzy compression, still have a certain charm to them, and the backgrounds, also 3D renders but just flat screenshots of them, honestly look stunning. This era of kinda balloony, rubbery 3D rendering has become a touchstone. Look at that Render 96 mod for Super Mario 64. It takes the then aesthetic of the promotional renders and reskins the game in that style. But here is DKC doing so as a contemporary product. I think it's beautiful. I think it looks excellent. It puts the game in a time and a place that has only benefited it as the years roll by. It also totally helps that the game runs at a buttery smooth high frame rate too. This shit was chunky Stuttersville, it would have died on the vine. It's not just the graphics though. DKC sounds like a dream. I'll be honest, it still kinda feels like the SNES shouldn't be able to sound this good. I don't know what sort of end-level SNES magic Rare was cooking with, but the instruments being used sound so clear and real. I'm not hearing MIDI facsimiles of a stand-up bass or clarinet. It feels like I'm hearing the real instruments themselves. And obviously the music itself is amazing. I don't need to play aquatic ambiance or anything. I have the analytics for this channel. I know all y'all are around my age and we already have that song stuck in our DNA. You don't need me to put up the music art for this fucking Donkey Kong Country soundtrack. But all of this gushing aside, playing the entirety of this game instead of just farting around on a friend's console kinda wore away some of the magic. The first half of this game is a beautiful flow state platformer. The movements of the Kongs and the layouts of the levels almost put you in a trance-like state. The only thing that breaks you out of that state is your gamer senses telling you to hunt for secrets. You feel that tingle, that something might be hidden just off screen. Oftentimes it is, and it's very rewarding to feel in lockstep with the designers. All of that goes away the second you hit Gorilla Glacier. Gorilla Glacier onward, a switch is flipped. This isn't a slow ramp of difficulty that culminates at Gorilla Glacier. This is a binary state that gets activated the second your knuckles touch that fucking frictionless ice. The game suddenly becomes fucking hard. Not like fun hard, but frustrating hard. Levels go on a little too long, challenges become a little too difficult, and the design starts to incorporate more bullshit. Every once in a while, there would be something that kinda trolled me, and I would have to chuckle and admit the game got me good. But mostly, it was me in my basement yelling, "God damn it," louder than I would like to admit. There's a couple times where it feels like you need to die to something to figure it out, and the bad feels from that are immense. And the thing that really exacerbates this is the funky save system. Once you are in a world, you can only leave that world to backtrack if you find Funky Kong. The only way to save the game is to find Candy Kong. This leaves you with stretches of brutal levels where you get 3 levels deep and lose all your lives. You have to go back to your last save, which could be 3 levels and sometimes a boss battle ago. Granted, I'm bringing nothing new to the table by saying these boss battles are about as worthless as possible, but fighting against these dick stomper levels and then having that progress reversed pushes the needle past challenging and into frustrating more often than not. Obviously, this isn't impossible. I still beat the game start to finish in one sitting, but it does paint the picture of what I said earlier. I understand why some people do not like this game. On the system that Super Mario World built, Donkey Kong Country doesn't exactly pair up as well. It's a snappy platformer built with secret hunting and some gorgeous presentation, but likely to many, not to the degree Super Mario World was. I think there's this friction to kind of how obvious the speed tech of this game is. You can accidentally do extended rolls without meaning to, and the game openly wants you to roll off ledges into jumps to grab some items. That's fine. Good, actually. But there were a number of deaths from reining in and out of control extended roll that I didn't mean to fire off, where I had to remember that speed tech can also be a weird glitch that affects casual level play. Sometimes it feels less like I'm platforming and more like I'm controlling a bucking bronco because the game needs me to go fast, but you don't want to accidentally go too fast now. But even after 40 plus audible god damn it's, I can't bring myself to dislike this game. Maybe it is so inextricably tied to my youth that I can't divorce myself from its aesthetics. Maybe playing it when I was 6 years old in my neighbor's house was just too formative of a time for me. But I just remember it fondly. And not just like from the past, but from this playthrough we are talking about. Sure, half of the game was closer to horse apples than I want to admit, but in the days and the weeks after beating it, I remember the charm just as much or sometimes even more than the really dodgy back half of the levels. That's the mark of a good game for me. What does my brain choose to remember after it's done and behind me? If you don't like this game, buddy, I totally understand it. But I think I do, and it's probably not the last time I'm gonna play it.